Get ready, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for kickoffs and kick-ons.
All right, count me in. We might as well do it.
2-1.
Hello, welcome to the KOKO Show. Yes, kickoffs and kick-ons. You by now know how this works. 3 wallabies sit there, punching bag sits here. We chat some rugby and we move on with our lives. On the show today, Superb Rugby Round 3. Goodness me, what a great round. Could it get any better? We didn't think it could.
Probably the best round I've seen in a long time. Probably a week.
Also, with only 2 weeks to go in the Six Nations, we'll be picking our next 4 locked-in lions. They're the people that can pack their bags, get their visas sorted, and get ready to head out to Australia. So that's very, very exciting. Then we've got a second episode, folks. What about this for a guest? Carlo Tizzano.
I think it's just Carlo.
Is it?
No loss?
No, it's Carlos today.
Okay. Not at the table, Carlos.
You don't say the S? Is that what you're saying?
I think it's Carlo Tizzano.
Can you check that for me, Tommy?
And I don't think it's Tizzano. I think it's just Zano.
Carlo Zano will be on the show. Yes, the Western Whacker, I'm calling him, because goodness me, doesn't he whack some people?
Yeah.
There's a dear Drew. We've got a great question for you guys.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, don't tell me it's going to be that slick fucking wanker again.
No.
Rick.
Kiwi's gone.
Oh, it was Tick.
Yeah. Also, Six Nations and Super Rugby previews in that second episode. Gents, it is time to introduce you guys. Can you guess what the theme is today? Anybody?
Something superheroes? Because it's super round?
Ooh.
Oh, is this Super Round? This one coming up?
No, but just because it was because it's a super round of Super Rugby.
Yeah, no, I've gone. Today's the Oscars. The Oscars are on. The Academy Awards. You were close.
That's certainly not the theme.
We've just picked, if you 3 were to win an Oscar, I haven't gone with a movie for you guys. I've gone with what category you'd win
a genre.
an Oscar in. Best actor. Can you guess who would win best actor, gents? Drew, correct. Yeah. He's the leading man. We hear his voice the most. He needs the biggest trailer or he will whinge until he gets it. So definitely the best actor. Best director?
Swoop.
Yes.
Oh, me. Nice.
This is who is actually in charge and tells the actors what to do. Loves leaving his creative juices all over the set as well, as what we've learned many times.
Sweat.
Wow.
That's
Sweat and just creativeness. Best original screenplay. Well, Swoop, that's you. It was originally best documentary, but we switched categories because no one could actually believe what was going on in your life. So that's that. And unfortunately, I didn't get nominated. So, no, come on.
Comedy.
Come on.
Hey?
What would
Comedy.
you do? What would you be like?
There's
No, it can't be comedy. I'm
there's
thinking,
no comedy in the Oscars.
Isn't there?
No.
supporting actress.
Thank you.
Actor.
Supporting actor.
Yeah.
Speaking of life,
Yeah.
Swoop, I've got a question. You've come in with some beads on your wrist today. Like, can you talk us through that? Look.
And his necklace.
Yeah, let's see the necklace as well.
No, mate. No, just leave it.
No,
leave
come
it
on.
alone. No.
What do you mean?
What do you mean, mate? What do you mean?
Oh, I just
Well,
wanted you to
not
talk
the
us
beads
through
that
it.
you play with, but just some
Yeah.
beads, mate.
Yeah, but what
Oh, just a market purchase. Oh, just a bit of something.
you were talking to us about a third eye, or
The third eye. It's talking about your third eye, cheeky little devil.
you don't want to go there? Don't want to unpack it?
No, we don't need to unpack it, mate.
Anyway,
so, you know,
I
some
like
things,
it.
some
You're
things, some
healthy
things you
and
can
you're
hold on
good
to yourself, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
You choose what to share and what not to.
Well,
Yeah.
I feel like you're sharing it because it's on your wrist.
No, but you decide how you feel.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
You know, we've got an hour and a half here. He might be comfortable to share with
Yeah,
the
let me
group
warm
by
into
the
it,
end.
mate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just was curious.
You know what? Your dimples are looking very striking today.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I
he
shaved last
was
night.
looking good when I
Yeah,
first
you
turned
are
up.
looking good.
Thanks.
What
Good.
brought on the shave or the?
I don't know. I've just been doing it lately.
You have.
I used to think that shaving my face like with a razor made me moon faced, but then I think I've realised it was just because I was probably a bit fat.
Yeah.
I think you look great today. You look like me. You get like carried away. Kind of you start here, and then an hour later you're down at your ankles, just shaving your big toe. You're like getting everything else in between.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
Well, I've got nothing left on me.
Love it. Hey, well, this is a good spot to bring in. What did we learn this weekend? We obviously learned that Swoop's been to the market.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've backburned a fair bit.
Yeah.
Over the weekend.
Which is great.
Drew?
I had a pretty quiet weekend, fellas. I watched a lot of footy. And how good was it? I learnt that Super Rugby, if you're sleeping on it, wake up.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Good lesson. And that was a lesson he passed on to me.
You're doing the same lesson.
Yeah, it's a good lesson. If you're not, what'd you say?
If you're
That's
sleeping
the-
on it, wake
Yep,
up.
Wake
Yeah.
up.
Uh-huh.
I
It
like
is.
that.
What about you, Prof? Any lessons?
I learnt puppy sitting is a bad idea with a 4-year-old and a 7-year-old. On Friday night, my wife said, let's go to the pet store. We're going to puppy sit. So we had a little puppy called Sammy, and we had her overnight.
Can you do that?
You can. So you can organise with the pet store. And then for 2 days, my fucking kids kept crying and just crying and crying and crying.
Because you had to give
Where's
it
the
back.
puppy? Where's the puppy? So this morning we bought the puppy. So,
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh,
What did
and
you
kept
get?
the same name?
Sammy. We bought Sammy the puppy.
What kind
Sammy?
of puppy? Yeah, what kind of dog?
Yeah,
we talking?
cavoodle.
Yeah.
What colour?
Black. But
They're quite yappy, aren't they?
They're
Don't
very
they? Yap,
yappy
yap,
early
yap,
on.
yap, yap,
only
yap.
if you don't train them. And I'll train this thing within an inch of its life.
What do they go
Yeah.
for? Cavoodles nowadays.
Ooh, I don't know. Whatever's going to stop the children from crying, I'll pay it.
Yeah.
And obviously this show's absolutely flying,
Yeah.
so I can afford it.
Yeah.
So that's my lesson. When you don't bring a puppy home to your kids, Swoop, unless, you're going to
Well, yeah,
end up owning it.
Stay away from the puppy stays, huh?
Now, the other thing I learned, you talk about the shirt and the segue,
Yep.
is that age is just a number.
That's exactly
It is
right.
but a number.
Yeah. Gits, you posted something on our social page which went absolutely bananas.
Yeah, and it should. Nonu, he's I don't think he retired, but he went from the MLR last year, then didn't sign for another club, but he's just been picked up. Medical joker for Toulon, the beautiful Rouge and Noir that myself and Drew we bleed for, and Skux is going over there, so he'll finish 4 months to go.
Yeah, it was a sneaky way he did it. It looked like, because they posted him a couple of times. He was hanging with Matthew Bastero and a couple of guys. He now works at the club, and it kind of just looked like he was just over there visiting for some sort
That's
of
what he
capacity.
told me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, bang, he's signed.
Which he thinks that potentially he was over there just watching them and, doing some stuff with the coaches, because I think Ma'a eventually wants to get into coaching. So that's what he said he was doing, and then all of a sudden he signs. I said, you arsehole. Like, I'm not a reporter. You could have told me. I would have told you, blokes.
Yeah, and we
And then
would have
it'd be
told all
out.
of you.
We would have
Yeah.
reported it.
That's
Yeah.
a good news story.
It is. It's a
Ma'a
big
far from done.
He's far from done.
Far from done.
Yeah.
Still in good nick too.
Yeah, great, Nick.
How do you reckon? So 3 months is a medical joke?
I think he's 4 months. You'll see the
So
season out.
explain medical joker.
So if someone gets injured, so when he was over there, that's actually what happened. He reckons he was shadowing the coaches, then a player got injured. And then Pierre, who was our backs coach when we were there, he's now the head coach, he said to me, like, would you play? And he was like, hang on. Did a bit of training with the team for the remaining whatever period it was, passed all that, showed that he still got it. And so medical joker, basically someone got injured,
Long
they
term.
can't play for the rest of the season. You've got the ability to bring someone else in.
So will
And that's what
Ma'a
happened.
play? Will he get minutes?
Well, he'll be available to
Yeah, he'll be
selected.
available.
Yeah.
And gents, I mean, you two, good nick.
Yeah.
You were showing us your quads before, Biv. Surely, has the phone rung? Has there been
Well,
any?
Need an injury.
We may be playing a game.
Okay.
It hasn't been announced yet, but 3 of us have tentatively said yes to playing in around July. I know there's a touring team coming.
Tentatively.
Yeah, I know, but there's a touring team coming down to Australia that only come once every 12 years. But, yeah, we're going to be lacing them up around that time.
Has Schmitty come to you?
We'll share more later, but that's...
As long as we last longer than what we did against fourth grade.
Well, you did all right. You got about 50 minutes out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the calf went at 8
Yeah.
minutes, and then I kind of just walked.
Soldiered on.
Yeah, but you're leaning up now. Like, you're a bit of a barrel back then. So, like, just keep going the way you're going. You'll be fighting fit.
Watch this space. Just survive Hong Kong and then
Yeah.
rocket ship to the stars. Hey, Fantasy Super Rugby League is going nuts. We now have 1,440 registered teams. Everybody is jumping on board.
How many?
Fantasy rugby competition. Let's maybe coin it that.
Yeah, that is
confusing there,
confusing.
Prof.
It's what
I think
Tom's
you're
now
doing-
saying it's what it's called.
I think you're doing one too many podcasts, mate.
Yeah, there is a couple.
Let's bring it back here.
Sorry, mate. Fantasy Super Rugby
Competition.
competition.
Yeah.
1,440 registered teams. Big Meso has plummeted down the leaderboard. He's
Oh,
now
Has
in
he?
11th.
So
Fallen asleep at the
I
wheel.
knew he was a pretender.
peaked in high
Mate.
school. I reckon he's one of those guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd give up now, mate. So Foley's Floppers is
Yeah.
now in first position on 2,107 points.
Average is like 700 every round.
Yeah, but
I know.
it takes
leave me
one
alone.
bad week
and then
They're
you,
probably
Don't
those,
I know it?
They're probably those wankers that sit at their desk, right, all week, all day, and they get together as a bunch of wankers.
Yeah.
And they discuss, like, they do tips and trades. And anyway, no time for them. Just take it easy, fellas. It's just a relaxed tournament.
Yeah, give us a chance.
Yeah.
On that note, top 5, Chickzilla.
Yes.
Chicken.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
I thought he had no idea.
who is Chicken? Explain for everybody who
So
Chicken
he
is.
was my first friend that I made in high school from 13. So he's obviously a dear friend of mine. But he's been he just rocketed up the leaderboard. I think his daughters Izzo and Marlo have maybe been helping him.
There you go. Now, update on our leaderboard between the 5 of us, if you count Tommy, who's not allowed on screen. Tommy is now number 1, 422nd. He's gone past Swoop. Look at Swoop's face.
Just when I think winning's becoming a bit of a habit. Look, you know what? It's early days.
Swoop Dog, you're still in second. Plenty of time. It is a marathon, not a sprint. 537th you are. Coach Biv, 894th
Oh, so what? I'm third.
in our little group. Yep,
Yep.
definitely. Goit, 961st.
Oh, I'm not too far.
No,
behind
you could
yeah.
chase him down. And then the prof, well, I've gone past 1,000. 1,075th. But as I said, marathon,
Yeah.
not a sprint.
Yeah.
You know what? D-Mac. I was going to triple boost him, triple captain boost.
Yeah.
But I went, you know what? I'm going, because we're on the Tava Nawa train at the moment, who's killing it. I triple boosted him. But D-Mac ended up having a
he's a bit quiet too.
62-point
Yeah, I know.
OG game.
Yeah, but you can't do it after the back of a huge game.
Wait, hang on, D-Mac, is that 2 weeks in a row? Or
He's
was
been
he?
very high.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jeez, bloody D-Mac.
Imagine if Righty didn't hold him up. Would have been another huge score.
But he did go off injured, didn't he? So watch this space.
His ankle. Thank you, Thomas. Hey, we've changed slightly the way that we're going to do these Superb Rugby roundups.
Yeah. How are we going to do it, Prof?
We're going to do it your top 5 takeaways. So basically, we're going to hit 5 hard marks that are the things that everybody's talking about around the Superb Rugby coolers. And then we're going to do our scores in and around that. We've even got a little bumper, mate. Here it is. There you go. Look at that. Absolutely fantastic.
What a bumper.
Yeah, one of our best bumpers. Hey, I'm going to start with you, Bivaruni, because you sent yours through nice and early. I know you were doing your homework as you were watching the game. What's your first takeaway from this weekend?
I just thought there were some amazing tries over the weekends. Not firstly, let's go with Mark Talea. Like against the Hurricanes, gets that ball on the edge, still plenty to do. And the defensive Hurricanes player shows in the outside. Not much room to work with. Just a little in and away and just shows absolute gas. Good little dive into the corner. Like, that's world class.
I got to tell you, Biv, you can't beat a good swerve.
Yeah.
But he kind of just like...
It's deceptive, right? It's all in
very
his hips.
deceptive.
Yeah.
He also powered off his left towards the outside. So it was like a swerve.
Show the outside if I've got some gas.
Yeah.
You're not showing the outside and then not being able to pick them up.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be doing that again. But then Artie Sarvez try. I thought that was incredible as well.
Yeah.
Catches the high ball, which is a great skill in itself, being a back rower, and then just shows the ball in 2 hands. The defence takes it and then just gas.
There's a lot of acrobats kind of behaviour on the weekend with try scoring. Like a lot of in the air, a lot of that kind of... Well, I kind of feel like it originated in league. They did it a lot, right? They just get ball down first with the rest of the body in
They
out.
changed the corner post ruling, so now you can still touch that, which is great. And of course, the try from the Drua up against the New South Wales Waratahs, Karawalevu in the corner as well. I mean, that was he turned. Who did he turn inside out? Darby Lancaster inside out.
Kellaway.
And Kellaway in the end, but then just jumped over in the corner again, precise, just in the cross section of the try line and the in goal.
Now, Drua unlucky
Beautiful
again.
finish.
I know we say this every single week. That's 3 weeks in a row where they put themselves in the box seat. 29-24 they went down to the Waratahs. Last try, a penalty try for the Tahs. I wanted to ask you guys, why? Had they collapsed the rolling maul? What was it?
Yeah, I think Maher, he was at the back from the Tahs. They looked like they were going to score. So it was almost like the Drua, which you would do in that situation, do whatever you can just to maybe have a penalty. But I think they'd advanced it so much and it was looking that dominant that you kind of have to award it.
I mean, Tahs did pretty well. I mean, I think both teams played really well. I mean, there's still a lot for both teams to work on as well, don't get me wrong. But the thing about the Tahs, I don't know if their attack's really firing at the moment, but they're just finding a way to win.
Which is really positive.
Yeah.
Considering that first.
Well, it's a positive they're finding a way to win, but not that
Yeah,
their
well,
attack
despite
isn't
the
firing.
amount of errors, like I'm not sure what the error count looked like. The ball in play time probably wasn't great compared to the other Super Rugby games over the weekend.
Yeah.
They dropped a lot of ball. They couldn't find their flow or their rhythm, yet they stayed in the fight and were able to kind of find the win in the end, which is positive. So that's 3 in a row.
Swali? Is he?
Well, they
Toe.
yeah, it's Toe. They're saying he's going to miss the next couple of games as well.
Is
That
it?
turf toe, is it?
Must be,
Yeah, it's the joint. Dan McKellar said Joe's fine. Sometimes you have to put the Ferraris in the garage.
Yeah, but that I think was before. I think it's become maybe a bit more serious.
No, but I just mean, like, how many people are leaving their Ferraris out on the street?
Yeah, no, I'm buying
Like,
it
you
to
put your
drive.
Ferrari. If I buy a Ferrari, it's going in the garage.
Yeah, I drove
Yeah.
mine up here. So
Yeah,
And where do you keep it at night?
definitely
In the garage.
outside.
Oh, do you? Out
Yeah,
the
it's
street?
safe. Yeah,
Okay,
it's
no,
safe.
Dan McKellar's right. Sometimes Ferraris go in the garage. What is turf toe for people that don't know what it is?
It's basically just when you just jam up. Well,
Wouldn't
you-
say
ligament,
jam,
isn't
it's,
it?
the knuckle.
it's the hyperextension of the big toe. And then there's sesamoid bones in basically the ball of your big toe are completely out of whack. It's
It's
actually,
just like an inflammation around that knuckle.
you don't realise how much you need your big toe until you've got turf toe because it's hard to get any type of power off it.
Yeah.
Like in terms of the mechanics, like it's a very important part of running.
Well, in Colts, when I was playing Colts, my school was my first year out of school. My school was having a Jubilee dinner where all my mates from school were going back to it. And it was a week, the following weekend. And I just wanted to have like a little 1 week injury so I didn't have to play that next weekend of Colts so I could go with all my mates. And I got turf toe and I was out for 6 weeks.
Hang on. So you deliberately injured your
Well, I
toe?
didn't deliberately, but I was kind of like internally hoping that I got at least like maybe a dead leg or a cork or something, right? That I could maybe just miss 1 week and then I got a legitimate turf toe.
So if you chopped your toes off, your big toes off, you couldn't run? Do you know what I mean? Because
Oh, no
obviously
chance.
players lose their...
Well, definitely not the same point. Like there's a lot going through your big toe.
Yeah, you try and push off, not using your toes.
fair bit of Avril Lavigne skater boy about it, wouldn't it?
You're pretty much just on your heels, aren't you? Like,
Mr. Fullback, instead, the bagpipe player, Kellaway. How did he go? Sliding in instead of Suolihi at 15. Did he slide in
Yeah, I think
seamlessly?
Kells is always going to give you a performance. He sees the game well. He's a good communicator in the backfield. I mean, through some of the coverage over the last few weeks, they've been showing some clips about just how well he communicates and just steers the players in the back three around, but also it gives that communication into the guys in closer as well.
I think an indication of how well Kellaway plays is not necessarily his on-the-ball involvements. He's very good on the ball, very smart player, very tactical, good rugby IQ, but it's the players around him. Like Jorgensen had a great game. I thought Darby was pretty strong too. So if you kind of see the players around him and how involved they are, it's usually because of Kellaway. He's a very good director, keeps the unit together, and provides just the cohesion and the clarity and confidence for blokes around him.
Lungy Gleeson had a bloody game, didn't he?
Yeah, they were getting. It was getting pretty tasty there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Mate.
verbals.
And Tossero, he was getting right in amongst it before his yellow card.
59th minute, this came up on our chat. Drua scored a try, and then...
No, Tahs scored the try. Sorry, no, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, down the left edge.
Yeah.
Um,
And then there was... the Drua play came...
and it's off the back of a fair bit of niggle. Like there was a lot of push and shove, few jersey punches. Like it was going that way, and I reckon you could see that the team that handled the niggle the best was going to go on and win the game. I thought that Fiji ultimately lost the game because of their frustrations. They couldn't deal with that. They couldn't kind of keep their composure. However, I saw something that I kind of didn't. I was actually quite surprised that it didn't turn up in the post-match review or potential reporting. I'm not across what gets reported post-game, but the knee to the back of O'Donnell's head. First of all, he kind of flops over the ball over the try scorer, which was fair enough. He kind of attempted to stop the try, gets cleaned out, gets buckled over the ball, and then was it the 12, the Fijian 12? Is he the captain?
I'm not sure if he's a captain, but it's your story.
Kind of comes through to celebrate with his team members and gives a nice little knee to the back of O'Donnell's head. Now, I don't understand. The referee was right there. I can't understand how that wasn't brought up because that's that's foul play for me.
I think how it works is generally the Tahs then would have to report it if they had an issue with it, is my understanding. But it should have been seen there, I agree. Or at least if you need someone, you go back, oh, sorry.
That's exactly
You're
right.
all
There's a different, I guess, when you're talking about the psychology of some type of incident like that, right? You're either guilty or not guilty. Not guilty is, oh, sorry, mate, that was an accident. You're straight back and you're attending to him, mate, sorry.
Yeah.
But there was none of that.
No.
It was well hidden.
Pretty
In the
deliberate,
celebration of that. It was deliberate. I reckon that's, there's no room for that in the game, despite the niggle, right? Because, I mean, as feisty as teams want to get, like Michael Check used to always say it, like if you've got something against a bloke or against a team, use the parameters of the game or the laws of the game to get at them.
Yeah.
You know, like good low body height, good shot, shoulders on.
Get a couple
not
of
with,
ribs.
Not with knees.
No,
Yeah,
it's
just
proper toughness.
your
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of
probably
that going
makes
on in the game. There was a bit. I think Amatosero had a Carnavero and a bit of a choker hold.
Oh,
at the
yeah.
top
I
of the ball.
love that. I love that stuff. But you know,
but
like,
that's illegal, that as well.
Yeah.
If you're choking someone. Like on the flip side, the Tahs as well. Like it was just a niggly game.
yeah.
Like there was something, there
You
was
certainly
more
don't
in it
sense
for some. I reckon
Yeah.
I'd love to get the ref mic or something. I feel like something was
Something going on.
consistently said. Like it seemed like,
It was spicy.
yeah, which is good.
Good. Love
Yeah.
a bit of spice.
Yeah.
What was your takeaway? I'm going to you next.
My
Swoop.
takeaways,
Gits, sorry.
I think from not just the weekend, but the first couple of rounds, is the importance of your finishers. So you've got your starting players, and then you've got what's traditionally known as the bench, but now it's almost like a specific role. And Russie kind of introduced it by bringing those 7 players off the bench and calling them finishers. Well, we've actually always labelled them finishers for a while, but they're becoming more and more important. They're as important, maybe more important than the actual starters who start the game. So I just think the impact that those finishers are bringing in. You look at the Tahs, they went to their bench early. Swoop.
Well, the whole
Mate-
front row at the same time.
Yeah.
I reckon there's no better example than that point with the Force Reds game. I thought Cronny's substitutions were tactically sound. It's almost like a part of their game that they employed during training to take into the game, because if you look at the statistics, and I couldn't crunch any numbers because I don't have access, but every one of those carries of the Force in the second half was a Reggie, like a finisher.
Yeah.
It was dominantly the balls. Whether in the hands of the guys who came off the bench. It was actually quite impressive to see. If you kind of go through and watch every ball carry, it was like
Ekuasi was strong. Actually, you know what's really strong, and I've not seen much of him, was Ryan Coxon, the reserve prop from the Force.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like he just came on. He hurt his arm at one point, but he was heavily involved in the
very
carries.
good
Brendan
carries.
Paingaramosa, they had some good impact, and look, as did the Reds bench as well. I mean, it's starting to be more strategic, right? It used to be you put players on because someone's having a mare or they're looking fatigued. Now it's a strategic replacement.
Let's do a little score update in there. Reds 28, they beat the Force 24. So as much as Cronny was making good decisions, the Reds still managed to get it done at the end. Some good little matchups there. We obviously talked about the Battle of the Sevens, McWright versus Tizzano, which I think we all agree our man Carlo Tizzano got the jockeys there.
In terms of a 7 matchup battle, I think Carlo Tizzano won that.
2 tries, and we're going to be talking to him today. Like, how good's that? And then the other one, Swoop, was the Battle of the Nines. Nick White and Tate McDermott.
Yeah.
Tate McDermott was good.
Tate
I mean,
got
they're
him.
both
Very
good, but Tate McDermott was particularly sharp. Just like his little involvements and the creativity in his game, that little kick through for the try for Fluke, and he's just got a bit of variation to his game, and he's starting to. He's always had the variation, but I think he's getting more consistent at executing.
He's got incredible footwork too, which adds another layer to his game and his attack. And, open field, you're very comfortable in open field, like off left, off right, very balanced, and then has the ability to have the vision to play to space.
There was that moment where they were head-to-head, just inside their own 20. The Reds were inside their 22, went left off the scrum, bang off his left, got straight through.
And he's Whitey's like,
if he so off it, yeah.
But I thought it was the best round of the
The best game?
of the round.
It was
Best
good
round of the game.
footy.
But yeah, I thought, mate, I tell you what, I think the Reds, I'm trying not to put a negative connotation on this, but I thought that the Force were the better team.
Yeah.
And off the back of that, I think they're probably one of the best Australian teams in the competition at the moment.
Do you think they are the best?
I'm going to throw it out there. I think off what I saw, even though they lost on the weekend, but their performances over the last 3 weeks, yes, they lost on the weekend. I reckon they're the number one Australian team in the competition.
Sorry, the Reds or the Force?
Force.
Oh, you think the Force are the number one team?
They were creating more.
Yeah.
Like, they probably shouldn't have kicked the ball away with a few minutes to go.
It's just discipline.
Yeah, it's a couple of little errors here and there, but I feel like they were creating more. I mean, they've obviously got to capitalise on a few of those. They've been getting off to some amazing starts.
Yeah.
But then the issue is then they let the opposition, against the Brums shot out to a massive lead, 21 points or something early on the weekend, 14 points unanswered. The Reds find their way back in. That's I guess the area they need to focus on. Their starts have been fantastic, but then just sort of limiting the impact once the momentum shifts to the opposition.
I'd love to know the ball in play time in that first half because there were hardly any errors. Like both teams were very accurate with their skills, ball in hand, getting through their phases. It was like a pretty intense 40. But both played very good football. I mean, obviously, I think when Fluke went off with the injured hamstring, they kind of had to readjust there. But for the Reds to kind of hold on and still close out the game, despite the Force dominating pretty much for the majority of the game, I thought they've got their shit together, the Reds. It's like they just, tactically, I think they're going with such clarity that they know exactly in different scenarios and different parts of the field, their landmarks, they know exactly what they're playing and they're all around it. Like huge difference in how they were playing last year. They played very well last year, but this year they've come in with, I don't know, like a much more streamlined or efficient game policy.
Yeah, I mean, even to your point, Drew, where they went on that tour and it brings them together. Every player that got interviewed after the game, they would reference to that tour that they went on. So they're just they're in a pretty good spot. And winning games that you probably didn't have the right to win only reinforces, your collective or actually where you're heading more.
I've got a question. Tizzano, both tries that he scored, he's burrowing in, and then obviously Swain did it as well. I know you guys didn't defend in there, but when you're defending, how do you stop someone when they are literally launching their head off the back of a ruck like that?
Yeah, I guess it's just your body positioning. I think you see a lot of those guys, one or two off the ruck, just getting low, almost taking down to a knee. You kind of just got to try and basket. The other thing is now with the, we saw it a couple of years ago when they brought in this, if you get held up, it's a dropout, is we saw all the Brumbies do it particularly well for a little while there, where they would cradle the ball carrier who's trying to ground the ball, get under them, and go with them with their momentum into the in-goal, so then it's like a goal line dropout. So in some ways, you don't want your players to keep picking and driving if they aren't a genuine certainty to go straight down and get it on the line, right? Because there is the big risk that you do all this hard work to get to that area of the field, then you get held up. So what I think we'll probably start seeing a little bit more of is players trying to get underneath and just going with the momentum and just holding them up.
Falling back. Swoop, you got a takeaway? You're up next.
Takeaway/learning. It's something that I've always kind of wanted to do or visualise doing is, the NFL style jump over the ruck. Maholo again in the Hurricanes Blues.
I didn't realise that's illegal.
Yeah. Mate, neither did I. And it's the first time I've seen it officiated. I mean, Angus Gardner was pretty heavy on the whistle all game.
He's heavy on the cards too,
Jesus.
wasn't he?
Heavy on the cards, heavy on the blower. But that was one of the ones he pulled up. I didn't realise you can do that. I thought it was play on because everything has to come through the gate. You know, if you're talking about the defensive ruck or the attacking ruck, everything's through the gate,
So
direct, square. So basically, it was just the ball was at the bottom of the ruck. I mean, the Blues were defending the try line, and Naholo's just picked up the ball and jumped over the ruck to score a try. And Angus Gardner blew it up, saying it's illegal to do that.
But what's he say? What's the penalty that he says? Does he say?
He just said you can't jump over the rucks.
Yeah.
He also
You
dropped
can't
it anyway.
jump over.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, he dropped it, yeah.
No, let's give it to him. No, he scored it. It just wasn't
He's
allowed.
in my fantasy team.
Yeah, right. Well, Blues 33, they got their first win against the Hurricanes, 29. So the champs are back.
Yeah.
First win of the
I
season.
still don't reckon they're back.
No.
Like if you didn't have Tahs' great finish, they even got out to a great start, the Blues. So I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it's clicking.
I think they look better when Barrett goes to 10. Like in the later stages of the game, he shifts from fullback up to 10. I think they just look better when he's there. You know who I thought was good was the young 10 from the Hurricanes, Godfrey. He's got something in him.
Well, he scored 24 of their 29 points.
He scored their first half all 19 or something.
That's right.
He just likes to take the line on. He's just got a bit of
swagger,
bit of confidence, arrogance, but in a positive way. And I think he'd be someone like say for example they go with the same type of thing with Mackenzie and Barrett as your 210s/15s in the All Blacks, you'd take a Godfrey. Let him sort of learn in the moment from some of those experienced guys.
Yeah.
He may not get too many minutes this year, but he'll get that experience because I think he's probably someone for the future for them at 10.
I reckon the Blues. The big part of their win on the weekend was because their big players started to kind of hit some form. Like Tutu was strong. Obviously scored a bit of meat. Tuipulotu was strong in his carries. Riccatelli.
Riccatelli. What a name.
What a name. Ricky, yeah. Ricky, he was pretty sharp on the weekend. So they'll start to find a little bit more form. They'll get a lot out of that win.
You were asking before we came on who are the red hot favourites.
Yeah.
I tossed up Chiefs, but you said that no one's red hot.
Well, I just don't think they're definitely probably I think we can probably agree that they're the favourites, but I don't know if they're red hot like they have been in previous years. I just don't know if there's any team really shooting the lights out more than anyone else, and which is testament to just where the competition's at.
But it's still a good competition.
It's
shit.
No. I'm saying it's actually amazing because anyone can beat anyone.
Yeah.
I'd love to see the number of losing bonus points that have been awarded this year because the games have been so tight. Anyone could potentially win any game that's actually happened in the first few rounds. So
it's early days.
Yeah,
early days. Like we're still getting to know each other. There's a bit of foreplay.
Softening up period, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Just getting a feel for it.
When do you reckon? What round do we skip foreplay and you start to see what I'm about?
When you start to search for the back half of the season.
Yeah,
that makes sense, doesn't it?
Well, let's go to the back half of the draw. Your boys, back half of the ladder.
Yeah, only one win.
Yeah.
Surprising.
So 49-34, they lost to the Chiefs.
Yeah, the score didn't really indicate the game. I thought it was, especially the first half, it was like any team that held the ball scored points. Like defence was almost optional. But, defence, both teams turned up with a good attitude, but it was just the attack was
on fire.
On fire. So I don't know. They're there, like the parrot on a biscuit tin. They're there, but they're just not in it yet. So I think. I
don't think you needed to concern.
No, they're still playing pretty well. They're playing well, but it's just. I think they play better than their.
It's mid-season that is the most important part of, I reckon, a campaign. It's like, if you start well, you can always fall into that lull, and it's hard to get out of it. What you want to do is be peaking kind of mid-season and just carry the momentum through to the finals. Starting slow is not necessarily a bad thing. They're just kind of, it's maybe a bit of a reflection of player tiredness, wellness, or, how you kind of gelled or, performed during those trials, like the trial season or the pre-season. But really, it gives everyone a bit of work on, kind of provides a bit of truths.
I would love to know where Noah Lolosia's at.
Yeah, I was going to ask do you know anything down there?
No, I thought because of the Wallabies in the first round, a couple of them got rested.
Yeah.
Noah played.
Yeah, well, then you got the head knock. Well, you got the head knock against the Drua.
So it's still a head knock. Still protocol.
Still in that.
All right, so 2 weeks.
Because they've also got big Bobby Valentini coming back as well at some point. So I think he's only maybe another week or two away. But Tommy, was it 9 from 18?
Yeah, no, there's been 9 losing bonus points.
Oh, well, there you go. So out of the 15 total games, 9 games losing bonus points have been awarded. So it just shows how close this competition is. And 3 of those have been to the Drua and 2 to Moana Pacifica. So whilst those guys haven't been getting the wins, they've been very close. So I think both of those two teams are very, very close to kind of coming up with something.
I liked both their harkers on the weekend too.
Well, you know what else I liked?
Powerful.
Is the strip from Moana Pacifica.
Oh, yeah, like the old...
Like the old school Pacific Island team that they played against the All Blacks and the Wallabies. Yeah, I know. I was going to say that, yeah.
Before we get into the Moana game, can I just say, those fucking cowbells, now I can't hear anything else.
Yeah, told you.
pointed them out.
Yeah.
Do they do it the whole game?
Yeah, I think they just love it.
Jesus.
Someone pointed out to us, though, that the chainsaw guy, he's done.
Oh,
I think maybe
is there a
health and safety or something? I don't know.
He's swinging the chainsaw.
I don't think they really thought... I thought maybe just a guy in a cherry picker with a chainsaw that's operating above a stand, probably not the greatest or safest idea.
Such prudes these days.
I know.
OH&S. That game, Highlanders 31 defeated Moana Pacifica 29.
Yeah.
Again, Moana so close. So close.
Yeah.
Yeah, Artie, big. As you touched upon, that jersey brings back nightmares almost. I remember playing that team. And it was a mixture of the Fijians, Tongans, Samoans. Was that it? The 3 of them?
I think so, yeah.
That weren't playing for the All Blacks. Yeah, Yeah, that was.
Yeah, Sidavini, Sivivatu, Sione
Yeah,
Lawaki, may rest in peace. Though some of the greats of the game, just like, yeah, I mean, it was just a nice little sort of flashback for culture around. Been some great content coming out from Tanu Umaga and his team, and just what it means for them to represent their people and their cultures. And but yeah, that was a nice little tip of the hat. But the other little tip of the hat that I saw over the weekend was a little duel between Tava Nawai and Artie Savea. They just went at each other a couple of times. Yeah. It's almost like, there's been so much chat about Timothy Tava Nawai, but he just went, I'm going to go right at the big dog, like the big dog that is Artie Savea, and went at him, and both of them, gave as good as they got. But I just thought that was just a nice little subcontext to the game as well. Just like
prove yourself.
I mean, exactly. Like you're the guy in form. Like take on the guy that's, who's the man.
But there was one, I think he got it on the right edge, stepped back in. Artie was coming across in cover, and he tried to bump Artie. Artie smoked him, turned the ball over, and he stood there a little longer. I think so that Tawanawa could see actually who did it. It was nice. I like seeing those, especially when you're not physical yourself. I like seeing other people. I like seeing them get physical.
So you talk about that jersey and playing against that Polynesian. Did they used to just come out and whack you blokes? Did they used to just...
Terrible. Like you're expected to win, but they've got the best of, the Islander players there. They're terrifying. They're incredibly powerful, and you're expected to win. It was a lose-lose. I mean, it was a great occasion for them, and obviously getting selected in a team like that would be, pretty special for them and their families. But for a little player from Queanbeyan, I didn't enjoy it at all.
Now, I think we've covered our 5 big talking points. I think, did that work then?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Did we miss it? Did you have any other ones, Swoop? Any big talking points?
No, just the...
Which Indigenous jersey you like the most? Tahs?
Yeah,
I
Tahs
thought it was
nice.
quite impressive.
I was surprised the Force didn't have one.
No.
Did they?
No, I don't think so. No, they just had the straight up and down.
I did
Brums
see,
one,
though,
nice story.
in the
little
coverage.
11-year-old boy painted that.
Yeah. In the coverage, they had Kurtley Beale doing some dancing and, doing the little kangaroo and all that. Like just, getting involved in that culture. And Dylan Peach as well, obviously an Indigenous boy. Just getting the whole squad to get involved in it was nice.
Yeah. How far is Kurtley off?
He's running. So I think, I don't know, probably an April, May proposition, but it just depends on how he's tracking. But he's going well.
There you go.
We back him.
Yeah.
Tough one to come back from, Achilles, but we back him.
Good thing is he didn't have calves anyway.
Yeah.
That's right.
So
That's exactly right.
he doesn't have to build that back
We'll
up.
be back next week.
Chiefs top of the table. Reds top Aussie side. Tahs are sitting there in 5th. Force in 4th. The best Aussie side.
Yep.
But you feel even a team like Moana Pacifica have lost by like 1 or 2 points every game. They're coming 11th.
Right.
So
Yeah,
Where are
very
the
tight.
Highlanders?
There's going to be a couple of teams going to
Highlanders?
run.
Where are the Highlanders?
They're
on that
third.
Table? Third.
So they're doing well. Yeah.
Yeah, mate.
So
Well, the
they've
Reds
only
and the
lost one.
Chiefs, the only teams undefeated. No,
And the
Reds also-
Tahs.
No, the
Warren
Tahs-
Tahs are undefeated. They had a bye, remember?
Right.
So, yeah. Chiefs, Reds, and Tahs.
Well,
are
you get
We'll
no
sell
points
the
for a
Reds.
bye.
The Reds also had a bye.
So, tight tussle there in the table. Super W? Super W?
Yeah, W works.
Super
Yeah.
W kicked off as well. Drua 23, they beat the Waratahs 17. And then the Force, they defeated the Brumbies. No, sorry, it was a draw, 29.
You just like to
all.
say the Brums got defeated. No.
I'm not anti or pro Brum.
No.
That's the bloke sitting here, all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and what about the quick start? The Fijiana Drua side kicks off,
Record-breaking
bounces,
stuff.
gets the little kick through, try 10 seconds.
Go away.
10 seconds.
It's got to be a world record.
Vita,
Well, it's definitely a Super W record.
yeah,
That's,
It's got to
Vitalina.
be
Like
an everything
Corey.
record. 10 seconds.
Well, could
I
it
reckon,
be
no, there's been goals quicker in the EPL. I'm sure of it.
different sport, Prof?
Is
Yeah.
it?
Prof, come
No,
on, mate.
I thought you meant the fastest to ever score in a game.
No, but well, is that an upset? Like the Tahs, I thought were expected to go back to back, weren't they?
Yeah, I mean, I think on going into it, I think the Tahs were fancy, but the Fijiana Drua side's been strong for a number of years. So I think probably the surprising one is the Force draw with the Brumbies. Force have
Right at the
recruited
end.
really well in the off-season. Ashley Masters, Sarah Nagama, a couple of girls have gone, I mean, plus others, but, a couple of big ins for the Force, and they've looked like they've clicked pretty early.
Good.
Well, it was a kick from 30 centimetres inside the sideline to
Yeah,
tie it
I
up
know.
at the very end of
Wow.
the game from
a cracking
Nicole
kick.
Leddington. So
Nicky.
29, all good on you. Super W rolls on. Hey, gents, it's time for KOKO LOKO. Who did you
Ooh.
go LOKO for on the weekend in the Superb and the Super W rugby?
Oh,
Pick
actually, just
someone.
on the Super W. What about that shot on Georgie Fredericks? Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
The Fijiana Drua girl came from the outside and just creamed Georgie Fredericks.
Creamed.
Like, mate, honestly. Like, it was an absolute rib tickler.
Okay.
Like,
Is
you're
she
not laughing at,
is
like,
that who you're going LOKO for?
I think I might.
Okay.
I
go
don't
for
have
it.
I don't have her name at the top of my head, but that shot.
We'll get Tommy to look it up. Very good. Swoop, LOKO, KOKO, you know how it works.
Oh, it's a tough one. Jeez.
Do you want me to come back to you,
maybe
Gits?
No, I'll
no,
take it.
no.
I think, mate, Dungunu. I think, just the lack of discipline, the force, the Reds' brass to go to the side, line out play. It was just a little bit unconventional, rather than kind of going to your structured A zone attack, going around the corner and heading towards post. Dungunu sees an opportunity as a winger to pick it up at the back of the ruck and snipe down that little blind side on the edge, and obviously
PGA, unfortunately, got a little wide, didn't he, on that more? They
But
slipped him behind.
great awareness, great instinctive play. Obviously backed his gut, and that's where the Reds are at the moment. Like, they're just backing themselves, playing with confidence, and Dunguna's in fucking great form. So a little LOKO over that.
Little question off the back of that. If you are selecting the Australian back three
Yeah,
today,
that's a good question,
Ooh.
Prof.
who are you picking?
That is a great question.
What was the question?
They're back three today. On
Wallabies.
form. Wallabies.
And are we answering this as if Suoliti is at 13?
We'll pick you back three, mate.
Okay, mate.
We can do 10, 11, 12 if you'd like. 10,
Max,
12, 13 if
Max
you'd like.
Jorgensen,
Mm-hmm.
Where?
left. No, right. Peach left. Dungunu somewhere too. Hang on. Jeez, it's tough in it. They're all wingers.
We come back to you.
Come back.
Come
I'm
back.
going to
Gits,
go
you go.
LOKO
Yeah.
for Tizzano.
Yeah, he was good.
He, he's just been good. He just works. Like, you know what you're going to get out of him every game. Obviously, there would have been a bit of talk about him versus McWright, but they play very different styles. But I just think that game and the way he played made me LOKO.
Good segue as well. We've got him coming up in our interview.
Oh,
What
I didn't
better
even know that.
time?
It was
5
Nicordi
tries.
that was that smacked Fredericks.
Thank you.
Yeah, mate. If you haven't seen it, go back and have a look at that shot. Huge.
Legal.
Yeah, legal.
Legally
yeah. But
huge.
also to Georgina Fredericks' credit, straight back up on her feet.
You've got to, though.
Yeah.
Unless you've broken something. Remember getting smacked and you're just like, oh,
You gotta
get
get
up
up.
quick. Even winded. You got to get up.
I'm going to go Jorgensen. He had a blinder.
Yep.
Both offensively and defensively. I'm LOKO for Jorgo.
Yeah, nice.
There you go.
So have we got our back threes, guys? Let's go. Who's at 15?
Tom Wright.
Yeah.
Tom Wright, everybody.
He's been a little slow to start the
Yeah.
season, but
I was just going
he will come good.
Okay. And your two wingers, Jorgo,
Jorgo and Dungunu.
Dungunu. Yeah. Who are you going?
Oh.
I will say, sorry to
No, you're right.
stop you from there. Peach is in great form.
Mm.
He's carrying the ball well.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think maybe you got to have Kellaway somewhere there as well. I think it's too early.
But it's good that we've got that many options, though. I was thinking about it myself. I was like, who would you pick as who would even be the current backline? Like, but all teams are playing pretty well.
You just got to pick them.
Because the other
well,
option,
you don't. We're not selectors.
Because the other option is if you're playing Joseph Sully in the back three, you can go Dungunu at 13. You got Ikitau at 12 or 13. You know, there's plenty of different sort of combinations, but also options as well.
I'll do it.
Yep.
Jorgensen,
Yep.
right. Dunganu left.
Yep.
And I'm going Suolihi at 15.
All right. Nice work, Prof.
Thank you, mate.
Good on you, Prof.
That wasn't that hard.
No.
KOKO quiz time. Oh, how you feeling?
Oh, we've got a good feeling about
Yeah,
this one.
right. Okay, here we
Did
go.
I win last week?
Oh, you win. You
Nah.
haven't. You are
You
undefeated.
don't
I'm
lose some.
undefeated.
Yeah, you're amazing.
No, didn't it?
No, we
No,
thought
remember
he
he
was
beat
Finn
Finn.
was
Oh,
gonna-
that's right, in the tiebreaker.
Yep. Okay, time for the little
Put in there.
bumper.
That's right.
Yes, the KOKO Quiz proudly brought to you by Tommy. Every week he writes this stuff and then he sends the answers to Swoop because they're old family friends and we all pretend like we don't know about it. Question number 1, gents, I think you just give me an answer today rather than the whiteboards.
Sure.
I prefer the banter.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like it.
Question number 1. Oh, I like this topic. It's all about you three.
Ooh.
The KOKO nuts. It's great. Question number 1. As we all know, Biv has a penchant for wining and dining a prospective partner at the best eateries Sydney has to offer, no matter the damage to the bank account. How many 3 Good Food Guide hatted restaurants operate in Sydney?
Ooh.
A, 4, B, 5, C, 6, D. Drew doesn't care about the hats. It's about the lack of pants after dinner.
Yeah, yeah. What's a hat? The so is that like the Michelin star?
Yeah,
Is
hats.
that these hat things?
Effectively, yeah.
4, 5, or 6. A, B, or C.
Do we have those in Canberra?
Yeah, there's a
Hats
couple.
there?
You got a couple,
Good.
2 maybe.
There's one in the food court
There's a
at the
2 hatter
Westfield.
down there. There's a 2 hatter. Oh, so we're talking 3 hatters.
Yeah. Oh, you got, yeah, carryover champ. A, B, or C. 4, 5, or 6.
I think there's only 4.
4,
C.
6,
5. I'll go B.
5. Drew out to an early lead.
Yeah.
Voice.
Our leading actor. Question number 2. Swoop is now a practicing Buddhist with his passion for stillness and mindfulness. This might be the time when he opens up about the beads. Tommy, great work. When one starts the practice of meditation, they learn the mantra, Oh Soham. What does that mantra mean? Is it A, breathe from within, B, I am that, C, mind be still, or D, Brumbies are overrated?
What was the first one, sorry?
Breathe from within. Breathe from within is A, I am that is B, C, mind be still. I'm going to go to you first here, Biv.
C.
Yeah, I think
Mind
C
be still.
too.
Mind be still. Swoop.
Let me still.
Incorrect. It is B. I am that.
Really?
Wow.
I
That
am
wasn't,
that
that wasn't my
age.
mantra when I learnt.
What was yours?
I can't tell you because it's meant to be mine.
Is it personal?
You guys.
I feel like when you're
Prof,
learning
I know
it,
nothing about it.
I
as well.
feel like when you're learning it, they say this is your mantra. You go in, you take a flower, and you take fruit and some offering and all that sort of stuff. This is your mantra. Don't say anything, and then all of a sudden, like I think they say don't say anything because they probably give the same one to everyone. But they make you
don't
feel
tell
like it's
anyone.
yours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. I feel like we're a bit of a closed book today.
I'm a bit of a
guys. I feel
cynic. If I'm, yeah.
I mean, I'm an open book. But
No, I know.
I just don't go to these.
Well, they tell me
I should.
not to. I don't want it to affect my
Juju.
connection.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, fair
That's it.
enough.
That's yours.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
As we found last week, Gits is getting desexed next Monday, and rightly so. Dr. Astley Cooper is reported to be the first person to complete a successful vasectomy. Did you know that?
You're kidding.
No, Astley Cooper.
Really?
First one to
In
chop
Australia
the old
or in
canisters
ever?
off. Internationally.
He probably should have done it to more Ashley Coopers.
What is the name of the tube that gets cut and tied during the procedure? Is it A, the epididymis, B, the vas deferens, C, the ureter, D, the sperm expressway? All
I thought it was
scientific.
the fallopian. What's that one?
That's women have fallopians.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
going with the
no,
vas.
that's what happens with
the
them.
V.
Vas deferens.
Vas
yeah.
B, yeah, your first B, vas deferens. So you're going epididymis,
Yeah, I'll
vas
go
deferens, or ureter?
epididymis.
Epididymis.
It's the
Goitano.
vast.
Yeah.
Yes, the V gave it away.
Good on you.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was too obvious.
2-2-0. It's all right. You've got a couple to come back here. Swoop has
Wait,
been
wait, what's the scores?
1-1-0.
I better say.
Sorry. Swoop has been rocking the saucy and sleek salt and pepper look for quite a few years now. On the topic of salt and pepper, in which century did the presence of salt and pepper on a dinner table become commonplace?
Ooh.
A, 17th, B, 18th, C, 19th, D, Swoop does his best work on the dinner table. A, 17th, B, 18th, C, 19th.
B.
I'm back to you. Oh, yep, B, 18th, Swoop.
19th.
Yeah, I think the 19th.
You're all wrong. It's the 17th.
Wow.
Really? They had
Early.
salt and pepper then. I thought maybe they could get something off an animal that would make it salty or peppery, like
Like
back
salt.
Yeah.
then. Anyway, that's what I thought.
Well,
I
I
didn't.
knew that they would have had it then. I just didn't know that it became like
Commonplace.
common
Really?
to
You thought
have
the
it on?
17th
Yeah, that's salt.
salt and pepper? Jesus. Next thing you tell me they got KO. Like,
Yeah,
leave
they
me
would've.
alone. Really?
Yeah, that's like it's from nature.
But commonplace. Like,
Yeah,
how
but
many-
you
with
wouldn't
spices
know
and
to
stuff.
use it. Like when you're eating your whatever you've caught, You know, you wouldn't think, oh, let's put some salt to make it saltier. Like, you'd just be taking it for what it is back then, wouldn't you?
Well, it's not that long ago, really. Like,
Well, it's a couple hundred years, Prof. Like,
yeah, but they had tables and they had. Did they have cutlery back then?
great question. You can't
Look
have
it up.
cutlery and then salt and pepper there. Like, no cutlery.
Maybe salt and pepper was before cutlery. I don't know.
Anyway, let's go.
Question
Next
number
one.
5. It is common knowledge that Biv is very trusting of people who claim to be a part of various royal families from around the world, giving them all of his personal details out of the kindness of his heart. How much money did Aussies lose to scams in 2024? A, 3.2 billion. B, 2.8 billion. C, 3 billion. D, send Tommy your bank details and he'll send you the answer. 3.2, 2.8, or 3. I'm coming to you, Goit,
3.2.
for the win. 3.2. Swoop for the tie.
Well, I was just going to go whatever they didn't go. Just give us a crack. Answer it up. 2.8.
2.8.
3.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a 3-way tie.
Oh, he's got it. He's
My
bagged
God.
it. He's bagged it
My
in the
God.
end with a 2.8.
Just imagine the fans gathered around their TVs.
Tell you what,
Come in now.
I have no right to win this. No right.
If you come from here, mate.
no right to win
Winners
this.
win. Winners win.
Now-
Pretty
son.
simple, isn't it?
Let me say this very quickly. You have 5 seconds to answer this. So I want you to shout out the answer as quick as you can. You got 5
Was it first
seconds.
in?
No, you each have to answer at the same. I'm going to go 3, 2, 1, and you got to answer.
Okay.
You got 3 seconds to answer. How many letters in Timothy Tavanawai's full name? 3, 2,
21.
1.
17.
17.
Neither. None of them.
Okay.
Who's close?
You're both equally as close.
What? Is it 20?
19. He did 21. We were 17. So it must be 19.
So you're out. So me and Drew go into a
Wait a
tiebreaker.
minute.
No, he was
No,
17
you
as well.
both did. So it's a 3-way tie.
Have you got no other?
Let's go to our locked in lines. We're going to come back with another question that Tom's writing right
Yeah,
now.
okay.
Goodness me. Gents, we're about to do our locked in lines. Carlo, how are you? It's welcome to the KOKO Show.
Thanks for having me, lads. It's good to meet you all and reconnect with my boy Swoop. It's been a couple of years, mate.
As how are you, son?
Yeah, do you actually remember me?
Nah.
Yes,
I've seen this look
I
before.
didn't
He's
think you
very-
would. This is the best part about this. I don't think you remember me, mate.
Hey, Carlo, I want you to hold on to this story. What we're going to do here, this is the magic of what we do. We're going to lock in some lines,
Yeah.
which actually you're more than welcome to toss up a line that you think will be coming. Will that work? Probably not. And then we're going to finish our first show, and then you are our second show. So it's going to be about 5
Okay.
minutes, but feel free to get
Easy.
involved in this. This is a good
Yeah,
tease.
fucking just go for it. As if you're vlogging. Just jump in.
All right, easy. I'll do my best. I actually got my camera here.
Ah,
Ready?
very good.
He's
there it
already
is.
he's vlogging.
Just as we
Attaboy.
go here, Carlo, do you mind flipping your camera so that you're landscape rather than portrait? Let's see if this works.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Here we
Mate,
go.
let's see this.
Oh, here we go.
Give
That's
this
all
a
right.
go.
While he's doing that, let's lock in our lines, folks. You go first,
we go.
Giddy.
Yeah, I'm going to lock
Oh,
it in.
fuck.
Just
Let
because
me sit this up a bit, then.
No, you're all good. Keep going, Carlo. While Carlo's doing that, we'll do this.
Yeah,
Yep.
right. I'm going to lock in Mac Hansen. Everyone's
Terrific.
picking wingers, and winners, because a couple of people there have won games. But I just didn't want him to miss out on his spot. Friend of the pod, good fella to have, I reckon, on tour, as well as a great player. So Mac's in there for
And
me.
probably our best chance of getting a guest who is in the line squad.
Yeah,
So
well, Finn was
played.
pretty keen.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Swoop, would you like to go next?
Sure. We've got, I think I was going to go back 3, but we've got Duhan, we've got James Lowe. You know what? I'm going Toge. Just a bit of tall timber.
Yeah, tall
bit of old
timber.
school, bit of
Yeah.
experience.
He's a lock in.
Yeah, pop him in. Maro Itoji. And then Drew, who do you have? ITO. Yeah.
I-T-O-J-E.
Yeah, ITO. OJE. Yeah. And Drew.
I'm going to go with Ty Byrne. Another lock. So that's T-A-D-H-G.
T-A-D.
Yeah. T-A-D, not Y.
Tad.
Oh, my God.
G-H.
G-H.
Senny
Yeah.
Coast.
No, it's H.
Burn,
It's actually
B-E-I.
HG. TADHG.
Senny Coast. Look, right there. Look.
It's on the
Nah,
screen.
It's on the screen,
Phil
man.
Swoop. Phil's, bro.
There we go.
Perfect.
There,
now,
thereabouts.
normally I do the fourth one here, Carlo, so I'm going to give it to you. Just so you know who we've picked already. We've picked Marcus Smith,
It's
Owen
just
Farrell.
line squad. for.
Yeah, we're just like slowly week to week building our Lion squad.
So we've
Who we
got Smith, Farrell, Earl, Genge,
Yeah.
Sheehan, Doris, Tuapalutu, Russell, Itoji,
Burn.
Byrne, Kinghorn, Gibson Park, Vandermerva, James Lowe, and Mac Hansen. Have you got somebody that's a locked-in line, somebody that you will definitely be taking on?
I was going to say Ben Earl, but it's already there.
Yeah, that was mine. Guilty.
Yeah.
What about a 7 that you're anticipating?
Probably Ben Earl.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. They'll probably go 2 7s, I reckon. So maybe a Tom Curry.
Tom
Ooh,
Curry.
good
There you
shout.
go.
There you go, Tom Curry.
Tom Curry.
I hope he plays. Me and him got a bit of beef, hey?
Oh, do ya?
really?
Yeah,
Little beef curry.
beef. Yeah. It's actually on spring tour. I actually saw him in the dentist and I wished him luck for the weekend and he just acted like I was a nobody. I was like, oh fuck.
Oh,
There you go.
there you
Oh,
go.
you're
Why
lucky
did
I'm
you
not
wish him
playing, bro,
luck?
'cause I'll be I just meant
'Cause he
good
needed
bloke,
it.
you know? Hey mate, all the best for the weekend, you know,
Yeah.
fucking rip in, it's gonna be a good game. And I just the day before I fucking chipped my tooth off completely. I fell over, walking back to my bed because I took a piss. Fully smacked myself, split my lip in half, chipped my tooth. So I was a bit rattled after that. And then
Yeah.
that happened. I was like, oh fuck, here we go. Lucky I'm not playing, mate.
Yeah. Well, you will be when he comes down. Then we'll
Yeah,
just
we'll get
fold
in
him.
all.
Hey, this is a good
bloody
time
hell.
for you to give him your going to the toilet tip when you're on a tour.
Well, it's not just my tip, but it keeps you asleep longer if you just walk backwards and keep your eyes closed. It keeps you more, back in the bed. So, Usher, you go to the toilet, you sit down. Then when you wake up, walk your way backwards to bed, and then you'll be fine. And you won't be chipping your teeth. That's
Yeah,
for
but I
sure.
feel like, if he's walking forwards and he's already tripping over, walking backwards is probably going to be pretty
So-
tough.
Yeah.
Well, it was me and Brandon paying Moses' first time rooming together, and I forgot to tell him can we keep the bathroom door open because I always go for a piss during the night, and I first of all head-butted the door, and then after that when I got back up, I walked back to bed because it was in London. It's quite tight rooms, and I just tripped up on my bag strap, and in spring tour you get 2 bags, so there's not much room. Tripped up my bag strap and just fully KO'd myself right on the bedside on the TV cabinet. And I see mouth tape on, so I'm just like,
Oh, you sleep with mouth tape on
Yeah,
as well.
I saw that. I saw that on your
Yeah,
vlog.
and then-
What is that?
Yeah.
What is it like? Just sews it.
yeah, I just
shut?
get some medical tape over my mouth.
And what's
What kind
that
of
for? Is
toilet-
that to help you?
Help you sleep so
Cardiovascular
you
or
don't
what?
mouth breathe. Yeah, so you don't mouth breathe and whatnot. But
you go.
so I got to then I'm like pissing blood everywhere. I go to rip my mouth tape off. My lip just separates from one side to the other because it's still attached to my mouth, and then spit out all my teeth.
Did you? Oh, right. So you didn't swallow your teeth.
No, I didn't.
Well,
I don't
it-
swallow, mate.
Most importantly, did you wake up Brennan paying Ramosa?
Yeah, he's like, oh, mate, you're right, you're right. I was like, oh, yeah. And it's embarrassing because everyone was like, oh, I hope you went on the piss. But, because there was a rule that's not going on the piss, and I didn't get on the piss, but I was a bit sus. Joe was like, mate, anything you want to tell me? I'm like, mate, I hands down, trust me, I didn't. I promise you.
And then
That's what I would have said when I was on the piss. Oh, mate, I tripped on my bag strap.
Yeah, you wouldn't have that mouth tape on if you're on the piss.
Yeah.
No
You're
chance.
coming back.
No,
Mate,
I
I
do.
I'm-
No.
I don't think
I'm
I'm
very
ever
anal with
wearing
it.
mouth tape. I'm a genuine mouth breather.
Yeah, you are. You're
Yeah.
bad. Even on the trip,
Sounds like torture.
on the plane, you were snoring bad.
Was I?
Yeah, bad, bro.
Anyway, we've
Even when I
started.
come home maggot, I'm mouth tape on, drink some kefir or whatever, get my protein hit, I'm full on.
What, when you get
gotta
back
be done.
blind?
Yeah, 100%. I won't even remember doing it. I just see all the stuff scattered around my house.
Oh, so you don't pre-prep. That's just you kicking
Oh,
into
it's-
overdrive.
Yeah, just kicking an overdrive.
See,
This is-
there's a bloke
this is
worse than
amazing.
me.
Yeah,
Oh, no,
my autopilot is definitely not protein hydration.
No, yours is
Kebab.
karate chopping, right?
Karate chopping, Uber Eats.
All right. So I think you can
Lots
tell
of
if you're watching
dishes.
this show and it's Tuesday night that it's well worth tuning in on Thursday morning to see Carlo Tizzano. This is going to be a juicy one. I'm going to finish this episode now.
Yeah, go for
First of all, this is the first proper beef between a Wallaby and a Lions player that we're starting now.
Oh,
we're aware of,
encourage,
yeah.
So
Except for, well, no, they're not the same. But remember Tate? Whitey hated Tate last week.
Yeah.
Remember he was saying how much he hates him?
oh yes, but I mean opposing sides.
Yeah, that's what I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
But we're still starting beefs.
we
It's
are
good.
starting beef. So Curry, watch out. This is brilliant. This has started off really well. I'm going to say our goodbyes. Goodbye, everybody. find us www.kickoffsandkickons.com. All our socials are at kickoffsandkickons.com. If you want to sponsor us, it is info@shtn.com.au. Send us a note. Somebody will answer you, I'm sure. I think that's all we've got. Gents, have you got anything else you want to add?
That's pretty good.
All right, Carlo, will be 2 seconds, and then we will get into your weird sleeping habits. Jesus Christ. All right, give us one. Cuckoo! Oh, wow. That is the best video on YouTube. You know what you need to do now? You need to like and subscribe down there. Or if you want extra content, might be down there, you need to go up here or up here and get more of that gear. Thanks for supporting Kickoffs and Kick-Ons, and we will see you very soon.